Hey friends, what's up? Kris Krohn here, and today I'm parked outside of McDonald's because I got a question asked me recently which said, Kris, I want to invest in real estate, but if all I can do is work at McDonald's, should I work at McDonald's to save money for real estate? Okay, first of all, great question. I'm really glad that you asked it because you know what? First of all, I can tell that your priorities are in the right place. You're understanding that maybe you would even be willing to get a job at McDonald's if that's what it took to be able to invest in real estate. That is the same mindset I had at a job where I was barely paying my bills. In fact, I wasn't covering all my bills. I was getting behind, and yet I was trying to figure out how do I get into this game of real estate. And so I did what I would call the necessary evil. A lot of people would just not have a job and try to figure out how to do real estate, and that could work for some. It really wasn't my style, certainly not my brand new wife's style. She's like, hey, can we have some security along the way while we do this? So I took a job and I learned how to make some okay money there, and in time the money got better there, but I never lost sight of the goal. And the goal was invest in real estate. Now I can tell you that I had been there at my job for less than a year, and I was considering quitting. And I was sitting down with my brand new mentor and I said, listen, I want to invest in real estate. I'm not really liking this job. I'm not going anywhere. And he sat me down and he had a conversation that basically said, Kris, if you will stay here at this job for 14 more months, you will have the necessary work history and credit to be able to buy a house. And all of a sudden I'm like, really? He said, yep. And I said, okay. All of a sudden, I had a different reason. I had a different goal for coming to work. That might be your way. That might be your golden arches, golden ticket, if that's what it takes. Because in the beginning, I didn't make a lot of money. I didn't feel like I could get that great of a job. But I'll tell you something happened. I stuck with that job. My mentor also said, establish your credit, got 3 credit cards that you use and pay off, stay at the job, save up $5,000. I followed all 3 of those for 14 months. And my job that I didn't like, all of a sudden I learned to love it because it became a means to an end. And all of a sudden when I bought that first house, I felt grateful for that job. And then I stayed at that job, and then something happened. As my real estate grew, I started asking more of my job, and I started growing in both. My portfolio started growing, and then the day came when I could leave my job to just do real estate. And of course, that was like the kiss of freedom. It was freaking awesome and amazing. So when you ask this question, should I work at McDonald's if that'll help me fulfill my plan of getting into real estate, then you know what my answer would be? My answer would be yes, heck yeah. I would, in fact, if I were you, I would work any kind of job, whether you felt it was a great job, a menial job, work a job if there's a way that it can help you get in the game of real estate. Because it did it for me, and it was entirely worthwhile. And I will tell you that there's some people, they don't know how to move backwards. There's some people that won't take a certain type of job or a certain level of job, but you know what? Take your pride and bench it. And you got to figure out what's really important to you. For me, I was practicing this thing that I needed to be really good at in the beginning called delayed gratification, which meant, hey, Kris, this time in your life, it's not about having a dream job or a dream house or a dream car. This is the time to be smart with your money. Scrimp and save what little you can, and you put that into a property. Friends, when you buy a primary residence, do you realize that it could be just 3% down? And on a $150,000 house, we're talking about $7,000, $8,000. Do you know that less than 10 grand can get you into a home? And if you buy it smart with equity, or maybe with a basement apartment you can rent out, or some type of big benefit, that the year or 2 or 3 of saving and scrimping might be completely worth it in the end? Because check it out, when I bought my first house, my net worth went up 40 grand. That was more than double what I made in an entire year at my job. And just think about that for a second. That was a lot of sacrifice and delayed gratification to create that. I'm so glad I did, because I did that for the next 4 years. And then all of a sudden now I had delayed. I hadn't increased my lifestyle, hadn't increased my spending. And now all of a sudden I had a residual income of 6 figures, over $10,000. It was actually $12,000 a month. And that 12 grand a month, do you know what it meant? It meant that I had a lot of freedom and a lot of options. It meant that I could quit my job. So in the end, it was a necessary evil, except I never looked at it as evil. I looked at it as I was man enough to sit my pride on the side and do whatever it took to make stuff happen. And that's what I'm talking about. The real answer to the question is no, you shouldn't work at McDonald's. It should be, you should do whatever it takes to get where you want to go in life, as long as that it is a moral integritous and uplifting and doesn't hurt other people. And that's really what worked for me. So by the way, if McDonald's is your plan, then you know what? Then get a job there and then work that plan and then stick with it until you get the gold. Hey, thank you so much for watching today's video. Listen, you don't have to wait 14 months. You don't have to wait 2 years. You don't have to be at that job longer than you think. What you need is a mentor that can show you the smarter path. If you click the link in the description below, I'm gonna show you how to get into real estate with no money and no credit. I will be honest, some deals take 3 grand, 5 grand, 7 grand, 10 grand, but instead of 20% down, which can be 40 grand, I want to show you often how to do real estate that doesn't even necessarily require money. It certainly doesn't require credit. It is legit, it works. I've been doing it for years. And if you want a shortcut, I can give that to you. Just check the link in the description below. Aside from that, make sure you're a subscriber because every day, guess what? Videos popping up, ding that bell so I can notify you and share more of this knowledge that I hope will create massive value and get you where you want to go in your life.